Good day, global citizens. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Fajembola's Opinion. On this episode, we are going to take you through the nitty-gritty of what you should know about hepatitis B. Today, I have a specialist on board, Miss Ogechukwu Marian Akabuike, who will take us through a beautiful discussion. I've said the part of a beautiful discussion today. So do me the honor to welcome on board Mrs. Ogechukwu Akabuike Marian.
He has a serious threat to health, being a silent killer. He doesn't have symptoms. Before you realize you have it, most time the liver is almost gone. This actually was the case of my mother, which was what inspired me to advocate for hepatitis, to have passion to talk about it and then go into research about hepatitis B. She's the type that is hardly sick. She hardly goes to hospital. If you hear that she's in the hospital, maybe probably she went for childbirth, and then she suddenly became sick, and we thought it's normal typhoid and malaria. She got treated. She didn't get better. She was referred to a secondary health facility. She didn't respond to treatment, and eventually she was referred to a specially health facility where she was diagnosed of hepatitis B. But at the time, the liver was long gone, and unfortunately, we lost her. And I was barely 17 at the time. That was exactly 1 week after my SSC exam. I was so devastated, not knowing where to start from and all that. And then to think she died of a preventable disease, I was like, I'm going to do the bit I can to make sure that I raise the awareness about hepatitis B. So it's actually a disease of global concern because, like I said previously, it is a silent killer. So we need to be aware. And then, according to WHO, we have about 250 million people living with chronic hepatitis B globally. So the number is huge. And Nigeria has a good percentage of it. And yes, it has vaccine. It has a very effective vaccine, but the awareness is very low. Awareness is low, and then there is need to raise awareness so that people can actually embrace it and do the needful to reduce the mortality rate, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. Through infected blood and body fluids. If you have contact with an infected person through sexual intercourse, use of a sharp object.
Thank you so much, Ma, for that. You talked about, in the answer, you talked about mother to child, which is a form of transmission of hepatitis B, and it's called the vertical transmission. In the paper,
Yeah.
one of the terminology that we used was vertical transmission, and I want you to tell our audience the difference between vertical transmission. Although I've already given them an idea. You broke it down and say, well, that's child. Difference between horizontal transmission and vertical transmission of hepatitis B.
So